I believe it is going now. Okay, we got some different settings. Try number 3 for the evening. I'm not really good at OBS yet, I guess. So the plan is try to get this camera fired up on another capture card and then change some brakes out, because that's fun. And everybody likes changing brakes. Everybody needs to know how to do brakes. My concurrent viewers dropped to 0 from 3. I think that's something's a little broken. Let's say hi. Howdy. So OBS is fun because you can add a whole bunch of different cameras if you want to. You could do, I don't actually know what the limit is. I'm going to try to add a second one. So I'm going to add a video capture device, and we're going to call it D500. No, let's call it D500. Oh. Yeah. We're going to add this HD60 card, and we're going to see what the heck happens. I don't know. I don't think I have my camera set up right to output video. And I don't know if I really feel like figuring it out right now, but we'll try real quick. We're going to turn the gimbal off, because otherwise he's going to freak out. Okay, I think he's off. Nope. See how nicely balanced he is? Okay, buddy. Off you go. PF, it says. I would think if you press the power button, it should shut off. It doesn't think so. There we go. After all that balancing that I did, we gotta take him out. I don't remember how you do this exactly. Turn him back on. We're on video mode. Destination? Nope. Card. Movie quality? Yeah, high. Ha. I don't have any idea. That's really boring. So let's not play with that today. We'll put them back in here for safekeeping for now. See if I can get them kind of balanced again. Good enough for government work is what they always say, right? Off you go. So we're gonna have to move things a little closer. Oh, now it's trying to show the other one. That's pretty funny. Cancel, delete. That's what I get for messing around with cameras in the middle of streaming, but I don't really know if it works, and I don't feel like figuring out how to do the test setup process, because that's not very fun. And this is just supposed to be fun. Alrighty then. So today, we're going to take Miss Kentucky here. We're going to jack it up. We're going to change out the disc brakes. So, what kind of stuff are we going to need, you say? Well, let's get some air tools hooked up. Actually, let's get the jack. So otherwise I'm going to get a bunch of stuff in the way. Let's see. I like to go kind of far up because I hate these little jack points that they have because they're not like as hardcore tough as you would think they are, you know, because you're jacking your car up with it. I like to put a little 2x4 under there. This is old school, old growth wood. Came with my house, as in my house was built out of it. Okay, so now we're up a little bit. We're gonna put some stuff behind the wheels. Make sure she doesn't go sliding around, especially that one. We're gonna get a jack stand. We're gonna get our pretty protective equipment, AKA PPE, which today consists of some gloves of the nitrile variety. There seems to be a run on the gloves, which is really sad because I'm running a little low. Not sure when exactly I'm going to be able to get new ones of those. So the hard thing is going to be, how much of this do we want to be in frame? Alrighty, we're gonna put this on the phone so I can possibly see if anybody's talking. Turn the volume down. And we're gonna put that over here somehow. I don't think anybody's going to chat, but you know, you got to be prepared for these things. Okay, so up we go. Up she goes. I was borrowing some quick jacks. I really missed them. But like I said yesterday, I do want to get a lift in here, and I don't really feel like buying quick jacks if I'm going to end up buying a lift. We'll go just a scooch higher. Okay. Some people like to leave it on the jack still. I don't. We're going to let it down until we're sitting on mostly jack stand. I don't like leaving things on the jack because jacks fail. Big giant pieces of steel, probably not going to fail. And on this job, it's not too big a deal because I'm not going to be underneath it or anything. Let's see. So now we got to move everything a little bit closer. It might blink out for a second. Just hang on a second. First we'll move our ring light. I think right by the machine. It's probably going to be about good. Behind me, maybe not the best, but that's okay. My dragon power. Camera hasn't gone off quite yet. That's good. Wireless just dropped. I think we're back. There goes the network again. I need a better thing. So maybe I'm not super prepared for doing streaming. Maybe a lot not super prepared because I haven't run my fiber out to the garage and I really don't feel like it right now. And if I don't feel like it, it's coronavirus day. I shouldn't have to do it. Let's see how that is. Not too bad, but it's going to be kind of far out. Oh, but we can do that. And we'll turn the lights up just a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to need some air tools. Because who doesn't like air tools? Well, some people don't. But some people ain't me, because I like them. Okay, so we're going to get a socket, which I believe is right around here. We're going to get an air ratchet. Should probably lay out all my little tools that I'm going to use. So the fun thing with brakes, they're not real hard. Once you figure it out the first time, it's real easy. You just need a couple parts. The thing that sucks is doing, what are they called? Drum brakes. Not a big fan of drum brakes. So you can see the one I did a couple days ago, because I've been trying to figure out this live streaming stuff. Oh, I'm super bright. Yeah. I'm gonna have to be like sitting everywhere. I don't know if we're gonna focus on this very well. See how thin that is? That's what happens when it starts making scraping noises. These things wear out pretty good. You don't want them to be that thin because you're gonna run out of material to make you stop. This car pretty much only goes around town. Not really a big deal if it goes down to where it's scraping. If I was going to go on a road trip, I do consistently test. These things are super cheap on Amazon. You can just pop in and grab your brake. So like on this one, we got a full pad. Oh, are we going to focus? You can do it, camera. Anyways, if you have this little tool, you can go in there and you can see, you know, how much brake do I have. And once it starts getting low, then you know it's time to change it. These ones are ceramic. I'm in Colorado, so I'm not the biggest fan of ceramics. Honestly, it's splitting hairs. Like, it doesn't really matter. Ceramics, once they get really, really hot, they start getting squishy. I don't know that I've ever noticed that on my high-performance automobile, Miss Kentucky, which is a 2002 Chevy Cavalier base model. Semi-metallics are cool because they last through heat a little better. When you're coming down I-70 on that big giant hill or going down Crow Hill or whatever, I do like having drilled slotted rotors a lot more than I care about what kind of brake pads I got. I also think it's more important to change your brake fluid than worry about which brake pads you got. I'm sure somebody out there's done some kind of testing, but there's so much BS on the internet, it's really hard to filter through it and figure out what's actually real, what's opinion, what's old data. You know, this stuff changes pretty quick. So these, I think I said last night, I wanted the cheap little ones. They couldn't find them, so they gave me some ceramics for free. I'm not going to complain because they were like, I don't know what the price difference is, 3-4 times. And if they're going to give me free stuff. And there's all this marketing that says it's somehow better. It is quieter and it makes less brake dust, which I guess is cool if you care about that sort of thing. I obviously don't care about brake dust. I don't have fancy, spinning wheels or any of that kind of garbage. So if I get brake dust all over this, okay, time to get more tools. We got ceramic brake part lubricant. I think I got some anti-seize for the wheel lugs here somewhere. Yep, anti-seize. Everybody likes that. Not everybody likes it. Some people think it's really dumb, but I like it when I don't have to struggle to get bolts off. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit because I look like a scary ghost. Scary ghost. Okay, we're gonna need a flashlight. We're gonna need a wire brush. We're gonna need our parts for pushing the piston of the caliper thinger back in. I'm making a big old mess here, aren't I? Haven't even put my little pad down. I like having a little rubber mat. People would make fun of me if I had a big giant pillow. But next time I do this, I'm totally getting a pillow. And I'm gonna make it the most popular thing in the world to have a special brake changing pillow, a car working on pillow. I don't think I need any other PPE. I wish I had my hard hat. That would just bug me a lot. This is kind of annoying having the ring light. Okay, we'll skip glasses for a little bit until I need them. We got sockets. We're gonna basically take these 5 bolts off. We're gonna take the wheel off. The caliper just sits on top of the rotor. There's 2 bolts on the back side of that. So we're gonna use this guy and, oh, this right here. I like to use one of these guys for putting it back on. Taking it off though, air tools. Putting it back on, air tools a little bit, like hand put it on, and if you don't feel like spinning, yeah, let your air do it for you. But torque wrench is kind of necessary for some things. Okay, we got our piston pusher, backup piston pusher. I think that's everything, but I think I'm missing something, like turning the heater on because it's cold in here. Paper towels. We're gonna need vodka and orange not beer. We're gonna need a torque wrench. Torque wrench is there. Paper towels over here. Need my paper towels. I don't know if the music is making it all the way over here, but all 6 people that'll see this in the next 30 years will not like that music anyway. Paper towels. Maybe a rubbish bin. All the way back at the back of the garage. Oh. Somebody just spilled water all over their foot. Obviously wasn't me. Maybe we'll grab an extra light just in case. I think we're good. I'm pretty sure that you can see my pants. hook up the air. Okay, every time I do air, maybe not every time. This time just plugging it in, I don't really mind. But disconnecting, I always do ear protection. Some of the guys used to make fun of me about that sort of thing. The thing about ears are designed to vibrate, and that makes sound, right? Vibrate, sound, vibrate. Pull off air hose that's got 150 psi, 14 cubic feet per whatever. All of a sudden popping out of it, we're vibrating with my stereo. That's going to your ears. Pretty protection equipment, man. That's what it's all about. I want to be able to hear when I'm like 90 years old. The tough guys, I'm going to be like, ha, I told you, you should have put your glasses on. You should have done your hearing protection. And they're going to be like, what? I can't hear you. Who's talking to me? Is that you, Merle? And you're like, no, that's not Merle. That's a garbage can. I'm over here. Yep, that's the PPE story. Sorry, Merle. Okay. Procrastinating. Need your glasses soon. We're going to be going in R, which is for rotate. We're going to use the rotate setting on the Air device, and the rotate setting is going to rotate the bolt in the rotation direction that I specify, and that's going to make the nuts come off. Usually having the nuts come off is bad. We need one more thing. Just one more thing, like Columbo says. Actually, probably like 8 more things. We're going to need a hammer. I want my gasket scraper because I like my gasket scraper, or else I like to have a punch. Maybe I'll try my chisel punch set thing. Probably not. Oh, we got to have our hanger. Who doesn't like a good hanger? We need our little sleeves. And probably a little something to clean all that gunk off. I don't really know if I want to do brake cleaner today, but probably will. Ugh. I know. I have a beard, and I'm not going to get a great seal with this. But I don't care. It's better than nothing. Anybody who says these things don't work at all if they don't have a perfect seal, they've obviously never smelled brake cleaner with one on and with one off. There is a significant reduction in fumes. Get on there. Okay. I've only used these a couple times. They're still good, I swear. And with the current climate of what is going on, I am unwilling to open any of my brand new P100 cartridges or my other P95 filters or my N95 filters or N95 masks or any of that stuff. Because if I need to, I'm going to end up sending them to my coworkers in case they need them, because it's probably a little more important than me changing my brakes. Well, maybe not than me changing my brakes. I'm not sure. I mean, if I can't stop, I could die. If they can't get a mask, mostly it's not my fault. And yeah, somebody could get sick. There's a spin going on over on the computer over there, and I don't really like that. Let's check it out real quick before we get started. Okay, now I got a monitor that I can see, and I still need something to punch out that center. I know. Every time I buy something new, it seems like the world has decided that hex screws are the greatest thing on the face of the planet. So like this came with a treadmill that I bought. It's this big giant treadmill that goes like up and down and has this big old TV on it, because still not really sure on the giant TV because the quality on it isn't really very good. So it's weird that you have to spend like $1,000 extra to go up to a 22-inch TV on it. But the processor in the Google device that's inside it isn't good enough to keep up with the video stream. So it's like a little jaggy. Like motion with compression is usually a little jaggy. And if you're out running and following somebody that's running, they have a camera on a gimbal, but still, like, there's motion everywhere. And so all those little calculations are happening with the pixels that are actually changing. And so you need to have decent hardware to be able to handle that, or you need to decrease the compression ratios going on, or maybe use a different codec. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what they're using. So you spend all this extra money, and instead of having a little screen where maybe you can kind of tell what's going on, you have a big screen. And so there's also the problem of my head is not very far away from the screen, which kind of increases the problems associated with that. So I feel kind of stupid for spending extra money to get the extra big screen. And I was looking at getting a bike, and I'm like, I gotta get the bigger screen. Doesn't make any sense. I should just put a massive screen in the gym slash sunroom slash outside patio that got turned into a strange enclosed space, and then go shoot my own videos or something. Because when it's going up, I'm on a total side tangent about my treadmill, and I love it. So when this thing is like going up, you'll be like watching this dude running up a hill, and you're following, and you're running up, and it's getting steeper, and it's getting steeper, and it's getting steeper, and the guy's talking about, oh yeah, this is great hill climb, and blah, blah, blah. And then he levels out, and you're still climbing, and he's dropping down the other side, and you're still climbing, and then he starts leveling out, and you're finally starting to catch up, and then just as you're going downhill, he's going up. I don't know how they fix that, but it seems like you could build something into your program that's changing the altitude of the incline of the treadmill to kind of match, so it's catching up or it's even. Like somebody could test it. Crazy. Testing things before pushing to production? Who would do such a thing? It's just YOLO. Okay, we got cleaning stuff. We got this stuff. We don't have ears. Let's get some ears. YOLO! Where are the ears? Somebody took my ears. Oh, that's gonna make me sad. I know where some are, but they're in the house, and I don't really want to go get them. I know where 2 are in the house. I know where 3 are in the house. I must have taken some inside. Okay. It's coronavirus time, and everybody knows that we have to be safe. And you have to be all safe to be healthy. We're not focusing, are we? So I'm going to take the extra minute, and I'm going to go get my big giant ears. Sorry. BRB. You'll still be able to hear me, so I'll make sure that I stop in the bathroom and like do some business and make sure you can still hear it, because that's what you're supposed to do when you have microphone mistakes and all that kind of stuff. You can have the audio tour. And now on your left, you'll notice the overly expensive, crazy treadmill, which I'm not currently using much because I sort of messed up my knee, and the other associated gym equipment. Not very much. And now we're going into the super dark, dangerous basement. that. Coming on back. The alarm beeped. I hope it didn't wake Andre up. Oops. Because it makes badonkles when the doors are opening or closing, or the things that I have set up to freak out will properly freak out to notify me that there is movement. Okay. Very few people I know would actually put these on for this. I don't care. Because I like it. I've been around too many things that make loud noises. Don't forget, we have to be an R for rotate. Since it's an air tool, we're not particularly worried about the car being on the ground to get these undone. I like to get them all loose first. Call me a nut. Yeah, we're almost off anyway. I don't know if you can actually hear the music that's going in the background. It's kind of weird. This mic seems to pick up just me fairly well. Oh, it says my bit rate is lower than expected. I put it on dynamic bit rate and apparently it's dropped all the way to 2,900. Well, that's a bummer. This video is gonna suck. I gotta make sure I get the fiber line run. I'm not looking forward to it. That means I gotta get in the attic twice. Once in the garage and once in the house. I gotta get on the roof a couple times. Gotta figure out where I'm gonna run it. Oh, I know where I'm gonna run it across with everything else. It's just a piece of plastic, so no, I'm not worried about like lighting. It's literally plastic. Fiber comes in usually 3 varieties. There's glass, plastic, and plastic. At least 20 years ago when I used to work on that stuff. I mean, 5 years ago. Whatever, I'm old. Anyways, this stuff that you buy that's really cheap, like the stuff I just got, it's plastic. It's not really a conductor of electricity or lightning or thunder. Oh, maybe it is. Do you think? Does plastic conduct thunder? Oh, I think it might. I'm going to test it somehow. I'm going to build an overly complex thunder generating machine and then test it against various types of plastic, starting with a fiber optic cable. I'm going to put like a 2-kilometer fiber optic cable out across something, maybe underground part of the way, and I'm going to activate my overly complicated thunder generation device on one side. I'm going to go to the other side and stick it in my ear. I'm going to listen. I bet it conducts thunder quite well. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's all dirty, because remember I was sweeping yesterday, and I didn't do anything under the car. So let's do a little bit, because it's a lot of salt. And I don't want salt on my stuff, because I'm like that. Especially don't want salt on my pants, because then I'll be all salty. But maybe I'll be well preserved. I need to preserve things right now in coronavirus times. Because if I get the Wu flu, I want to make sure I'm well preserved. Okay. Here's why I really have my ears on. And it didn't even do anything exciting. I'm slippery. Where's my paper towels? What's my bit rate now? Man, it's really changing. It's 10,000 1 second, and then it's something else another second. That looks like it's not in the rotate position. There we go. That's R for rotate. Okay. Now what we got here is we got 2 hex bolts on the back of this caliper. It's just like this, it's like this claw, right? The claw sits right here, and it takes those 2 brake pads and it just squishes them onto this big round disc, your rotor. Oh, they're all dirty. I wonder if I have Q-tips. How many people do you know that clean out the rotors on their brakes with a Q-tip? You're about to know one. It might just be a brush or something like that. I do need my brush. I don't know how many Q-tips I have out here. I'm sure if I got a bunch of Q-tips out here, somehow the girls would find them and they would be abducted into salon world. We don't want things to get abducted into salon world all the time. I think that brush will be fine. Okay. Now, why would you want holes in your brakes? Because it's just going to gather up a bunch of garbage in there, right? Probably wear your brake pads down a little more. I don't care about that. I want the heat not to ever be a problem with my brakes. That is a big fail waiting to happen. So if you haven't ever changed the brake fluid in your car, you're just wrong. I don't remember what the specs are, but it's like you can get like 2% water in your brake fluid every year. So as you get water into your brake fluid, water can boil and become a gas, and gas is compressible, whereas hydraulic fluid, brake fluid, even water, just solid water, not super compressible. Yeah, so you really, really just don't want to have water in your brake lines to where it's going to boil and become a gas, and then that gas is super squishy and your brakes are going to have problems. So that's why they tell you you should be changing your brake fluid every 2 years. I'll be doing mine here pretty soon. I have a vacuum bleeder kit that makes it pretty easy. I really need to get on that. Let's see how this does. Yeah, that's not doing a whole lot. I like doing dish soap on these. This might become a multi-day project because I might get all weird and like take it inside and wash it with dish soap. I really want to get like a big ultrasonic tank for this sort of thing. They're kind of expensive when they get like this size. You can get a small one for jewelry and stuff off Amazon that's kind of cheap, and they have ones where it'll like heat up and stuff. I don't know. I want a big giant one. I have all these weird, crazy projects that it would be really nice to have a big giant dunk tank for all my weird stuff. Alrighty. We're in the rotate position. We're gonna find those pesky bolt thinger dingers. I know I'm the only person on the face of the planet that sits like this and works on the car. Am I in the rotate position? Yep. loud for a little while. Apparently I ran out of air. But this is going to be loud anyway, so who cares, right? I didn't give myself enough hose. And you can never have enough hose. There we go. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, actually, because my compressor's like 15 feet away. Yeah, something like that. 12 feet. We'll wait just a minute. Come on, little compressor. Let's see if we can get this off. See how long we got to go on that. Just a little scoot. Almost done. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost sure that it's almost done. There we go. Yeah, that was getting a little loud. It's going to be time. Don't need these. Did I go the right way? Nope. Okay, I don't like breathing this dust in. I don't think you'll be able to hear me very well, but that's okay, because all I'm going to do is scrape all this stuff off real fast, and then I'm going to clean it. And it's going to be interesting to see if you can hear me with a silly mask on. Brakes used to be made with asbestos, and they're not really made with asbestos anymore. There's organic ones that are like organic non-asbestos brake pads. Okay, so when you see on the news doing like a fit test, usually you have this like saccharin something solution. I am getting a little bit past my beard, not a whole lot, and that's good. Okay, so I'm just going to scrape some of this stuff. And that's going to take a little bit of it out of my lungs. It's kind of like brushing your teeth, but different. Okay, so here's the other thing that I don't really like breathing in is brake cleaner. Yeah, look at that. Brake cleaner is where it's over here. Removes brake fluid, grease, oil, and other contaminants from all types of brake assemblies. Stops disc brake squeal. May be used without disassembling the brake unit. Yeah, you could. I can still smell it a little bit. Nowhere near as much as I would be if I did not have a mask. And that's probably going to make it squeal even more. We're going to yank them off. We're going to check the other side. Yeah, this is nowhere near as bad as the other day when I was like, screw it, I'm going to just hold my breath and run. That wasn't a good idea. They're feeling pretty smooth. I didn't get any grooves on this one, which means I don't really feel like I need to get it machined. The machining thing is a little silly. Like, you know, brake pads, I should just finish this. Brake pads are not that expensive. Rotors are not very expensive. When there's one surface that is sticking out, it's going to wind up getting ground off. So if you have brand new brake pads, unless it's really bad, it's going to end up kind of evening out. I like to clean this stuff off just to get it at a better starting point. Most places you're not going to clean it off that much. I'm not most places. It looks like I actually need a little more light. So let's do a little more light. And a little teeny bit of air in the garage. Okay, we got some air coming in. Get a little more light on there. That's feeling pretty good to me. Okay, can we see? It's a little late for that, right? Nah, not really. I'm gonna get black stuff on my pretty Filson hat. Okay. Yeah, usually I scrape these a lot more. I don't know how much longer Miss Kentucky's gonna be around. So, well, we'll get a little more out. Okay, so there's these two places where there's the bolts. Oh, now I'm super washed out. That's okay. So these bolts right here, they actually come out. I swear they do. So we're gonna keep backing them out if we can. Well, ain't that the damnedest thing? You know, the other side is different. Oh, that's right. I have two different calipers. I'm gonna make sure I get a good coat of grease on this. Come on, guy. Pull me out. It's not liking it. Now we put it into F for fun. Fun mode. Why is that sticking out so bad? I don't actually know what I'm doing right here. That's kind of fun. It's like this little problem solving project. Anyhow, let's see how we can get this in here. I don't think I'm going to be able to use this one, which is kind of sad. I thought, this is such a great idea. It's like a little ratchety guy. And you could just stick it in and start cranking on it. Well, it doesn't ever fit. Oh, no, it does today. Well, that's fun. So right now I'm pushing that little piston back to its home. Don't you want to go to your home? Yeah, just like that. Now it's flush and I got room to work, which I should have done before I started scraping on it. You learn these things and then it's like another 6 months, a year until you do it again and you forget. I do anyway. I know all those perfect people on the internet don't. And those professional mechanic people, someday a mechanic's going to stumble on this and be like, you're doing it all wrong. You know, been doing it for 20-something years and I haven't had a problem yet. So, whatever. You're probably cutting your hair wrong and configuring your firewall wrong. I don't give you shit about it. That's the thing with the internet. If people would just chill out, like if you want to help, great. I'm all for helping people out on the interwebs. And that's what the interwebs was supposed to be for, is like being able to put some data out there and help other people and collaborate and all that sort of stuff. But it just ends up like these flame wars. And I'm not a big fan of the flame wars. If anybody ever finds my little corner of the internet and starts trying to fire up a flame war, I'm just going to mute you. I'm not going to respond. I don't feed the trolls. Learned that a long time ago back in the ICQ days. You don't feed the trolls, otherwise they come back. If we lived in South Korea, you would have an ID that was tied to your government ID. And you don't troll, because there's consequences for your actions. Here, nah, you get to hide in this anonymous cloud, and nobody really seems to mind their business and do what they should be doing. It's kind of sad, really. We're going to re-grease these a little bit. I'm not going to redo it because, like I said, I don't know how long Miss Kentucky's going to be around. Miss Kentucky's been here for a very long time and been a great little car. I like cars that are mass-produced. The parts are cheap, easy to fix. There's a reason why, you know, we've been able to build 3 businesses in the span of 3 years. I don't have fancy cars. I don't have a fancy house. I don't have a lot of fancy stuff. And if I was to help somebody, I don't know, achieve like financial success or build a business like a salon, it's easy to say things like you got to sacrifice to be able to make something new. Well, when you don't have somebody to like give you seed money and you got to do it yourself, you really do. You have to make choices. You have to figure out, okay, I'm not going to go out all the time, or I'm not going to, I don't know, eat out all the time. Or my biggest favorite, if you didn't get Starbucks every morning at the prices that you're paying, yeah, you could save a lot of money. It doesn't seem like it because it's just a little bit, but a little bit every day, a little bit every day. That's what it takes to throw a little bit every day into a savings account so that you can build the infrastructure for a salon, or, you know, get the cash together to hire a bunch of employees so that you can start a new company. I don't know how to teach that. I think you just kind of have to learn it the hard way, really. Figure out that you shouldn't have debt on credit cards. Credit card companies are evil. Well, certain banks are evil. I don't care. They can come after me. I'll show them a couple documentaries about how bad they are. There's a lot of ways you can lose money, and I don't know how to teach people how to get away from that. Get away from scams. Get away from the idea that you can get rich quick, because you can't. There's only a few people in the world that got rich quick. Bill Gates didn't just get lucky. The guy, he found a niche. He built some cool stuff in a time that it was needed. It's a little different. Zuckerberg, whatever. I built Facebook before Zuckerberg built Facebook. Most of my buddies in college also built Facebook before Zuckerberg built Facebook. We all built I mean, probably tens of thousands of people built Facebook long before Zuckerberg did. We're just not evil, basically, is what it comes down to. I am not going to be the person that sits there and grabs all your data and like gathers it and sells it out to everybody and profiles you. And there's all you got to do is read about intelligence agencies and what they think of Facebook and FriendFace and Instant Friend and everything else out there. Great tools for giving your basic details away, or great tools for helping somebody rob you. I don't understand why people are so willing to give away every bit of data. This, I don't care. If somebody wants to know that I have a 2002 Chevy Cavalier, it's public knowledge. I drive one on the street every day. I still don't understand the license plate thing. Why can't I show my license plate? I drive around with it every day. It's a public record. Why is that? If anybody knows and ever watches this video, tell me. Is there a jack stand under there? I don't know how long ago you asked that. It's psychic power. See, what happens is you take the crystal energy from the floor, it's stored in the concrete, and you levitate it. Yeah, there's a jack stand right over behind the jack. Guess you can't see that, can you? So, Mike, I've been talking about stuff that doesn't matter as far as brakes go. How long have you been there? No, probably not there. Should get back to brakes. Okay, I got some pads. That is a brake pad. And that is a brake pad. I like to do the inside one first. I don't even know if you can do the outside one first without screwing up the inside one. One of the best things I ever discovered for doing brakes, which freaked me out a lot at the very beginning, was the noise that comes from these things vibrating. If they, I don't know, sometimes they just get in there funky. And so if you put this magical, ooh, it's extreme. You put some brake parts lube in there, put it on the back, all over it, squish it in there. It seems to do a good job of keeping it from rattling around. I want my piece of paper. Mike, you still there? I think he disappeared. It's purple. You know what they say about purple stuff? It tastes good. I don't really know how much you're supposed to do. This is one of those things where, so if somebody from the hair world saw this, I would tell them, you know, this is like one of those salon things where everybody does it and nobody knows why. Like, it could be you're supposed to slather it on. I don't really know. I don't really care because it seems to work for me. But someday I should talk to somebody that actually knows what they're doing, because training is good and you can learn things that you wouldn't otherwise know. So we go to a lot of training for the salon. As recently as last month to Nashville, right before the tornado hit. I have a bunch of video of the Capitol. I don't know if I have video out the windows of our hotel of anything that got damaged, but it would be interesting if I did. So we're just going to set that right in the whatchamacallit, the pusher majigger, and then we're going to get the other one. We're going to stick that right on in there. But before I do that, I'm going to put my rotor back on. Rotors have gotten really, really cheap on Amazon. You can get a full set of brand new rotors and brand new like ceramic pads all the way around on your car, cheaper than you can go and take it to somebody to get new brakes. And that to me is just wrong. Like, it doesn't take me that long. I mean, I kind of have fun while I'm doing it, and I screw around. I'm going to put some anti-seize on there. I like anti-seize because I have not needed to get out a gear puller for ages. And part of it on this one is I just replaced these wheel hubs like, I think last year. That's another great thing about the Cavalier. Like, so I did brand new wheel hubs, tie rods, suspension, all kinds of stuff. I redid the whole front end, axles, all that junk. All for the bargain price of $400. Like, that's crazy. And it just took me, you know, watching YouTube for a little while, talking to some pals. I'm pretty good at fixing stuff. So it's been driving fine for a year. Let's put that sucker back on there. Squish that in a little bit. Maybe give it a little spin. Man, rust is amazing stuff. Yeah, I got a fingerprint on there. If Mike's still watching, he's going to give me a really hard time. But it's a fingerprint of love from grease that already is on the car. Okay. Now is the interesting one. This one's got these little clips, and you got to slide it over the frame of the grabber. See the thing that's got the squeezers? We're putting it kind of over one of the sides, and then it's going to be able to squeeze it. But it's got a little clippy doodle on it. I believe clippy doodle is, in fact, the technical term. And if you don't like it, well, you're probably stuck at your house with the woo flu if you're watching this, and you're not going to be able to get out of your bed and complain. Haha. I mean, I hope you get better. Woo flu's no good. Neither is the normal flu. I hope nobody has the normal flu or any other bad thing that's going on right now. Oh, that's looking pretty good right there. I don't think it makes a difference, but I like to get it all over on there. I've had this bottle for quite a while, and it's probably going to go bad or something before I run out. Okay, I need to get my little hanger off. It's going to go in that way. There was a trick to it the other day. I don't remember what side I put in first, and I don't think it really particularly matters. There we go. Oh, it's because I was going on the edges, and there's that whole leverage thing on the edges. So now I got to line up my bolts. Okay. That's pretty much all it is for doing brakes. Like, yeah, you might need the little weird squeezer tool that you can get off the Amazon for like 20 bucks. I also have this other overly complicated one that involves these little round pieces that fit kind of the size of your squeezer device, and then you get this in between there, and you start twisting it, and it spreads the space out. You can also use a C-clamp, which is what the guys across the street use. I brought these to them last time they were doing brakes, and they're like, "What is that for? I just want a C-clamp." I'm like, "But I got these awesome tools." They're like, "No, just a C-clamp, man." All right, fine. Do it the old school way that's like logical and not with fancy overpriced tools. Oh well. What time is it? It's already 10:20. That's kind of funny. Screwing around, so I'm taking forever to do breaks. We're gonna do a little anti-seize on the front here before I forget. Because I don't like it when these stick. And you can tell I had it on there before because it didn't stick. And there's not all this crazy rust all over it. Yeehaw! I kind of want to type back on there, but at the same time, I don't want to take my gloves off yet. Okay, that's only mostly filled with brake dust. Yeah. Better to ingest it than breathe it, I always say. Okay, what's next? A little rotatey guy. We're going to put the rotatey guy in the fun position. We're in fun mode right there. If anybody doesn't actually know, it's the righty-tighty, lefty-loosey thing. So we're going clockwise to tighten, anti-clockwise as the people who push the lorry to their car and put the kibbles on the boot. And then have tea. Anti-clockwise. Brilliant. It's always hard for me to line these up. I just gotta kind of wiggle it around. If somebody knows a trick to that, tell me. Oh, that sounds good. They make these that like, it's sort of like a screwdriver. So it's really cool, like, oh. Yeah, I already have one. I saw this Instagram ad for basically this, that it ratchets and then you turn it and it's still, but it was cooler because it was more low profile. Turns out I already have one. I use it all the time. Just don't use it like that. I'm real smart. Okay, like I said, I don't like tightening all the way with air tools, basically ever. Fun mode is activated. And I can't remember what the torque value is on it. So I'm going to look it up. I gotta Google that. One set of gloves down, I'm running out. I got like a third of a box of gloves left, and then the Woo Flu came along. Went to Costco to get gloves and I forgot, like the week before. We also only got one package of toilet paper. This was like 3 days before Trump admitted it was a problem. So yeah, eventually we're gonna run out of toilet paper and gloves. I did get some new gloves for the salon, which is great. We were able to go through our distributor and she found us some and they're pink. So worst case, if I run out of gloves in my garage, I'm gonna be wearing pink gloves because I don't like getting all that junk all over my hands. Look, there's me. It's like a little mirror thing going on. reply. You missed that part. Didn't show up. Okay. We need torque. I usually don't worry too much about that particular bolt. It's the lug nuts that I am always paranoid about. Last time I went to go get tires at a certain giant store. We got some really nice tires. Oh, Mike's still there. Sweet. I have a couple of the black ones left that are the like, what are these, like 3 mil, and the black ones are 6 or 9 or something. And I keep saving them for stuff, which is ridiculous because I might as well just use them. Anyways, yeah, so go to Costco one time. Yeah, just dime out some big mega corporation. But it's a third-party company that does their tires. And so we get our tires, and they're like, yeah, you got to come back after X number of miles, and we'll check them again. We're like, okay. So we go drive down south, not too far, and you can already feel the car wobbling. Get out, they're loose by hand. So we took them back, and I yelled at people. I definitely yelled at them, like, you could have killed us. It's not that hard to check the torque on your tires. Now we got to Google, because my book is in the house, and I don't want to go back to the house. Any guesses what the torque value is on a 2002 Cavalier for the caliper bolts? 2002 Cavalier. Caliper bolts. 35 foot-pounds. That's what it says. We'll check two places. I usually turn them between 100 and, no, 10 and 200? No. No. I'm gonna bump this. Well, that's 25 foot-pounds. 33. Guide pin bolts, is that what they're called? £10. It's the caliper to bracket. This says 25. This says 35. I think I'm gonna go 25. What did you say, 10? Let's see what 10's like. I've got to get my other torque wrench. So Mike, unfortunately, I'm having some network issues, so I had to put the buffering to the max. And so you're lagging like, I want to say 20, 30 seconds behind what I'm saying. Which I may be able to illustrate with my phone. Maybe. Here's what's going on my phone right now. So I can wave. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. Yeah, we're a long ways behind. I only got 20% left on my monitor on top of my camera, and it's going to fail. Turning on driving mode. Guide pins would be to the bracket. Bracket to the spindle is higher. Oh, okay. And look at that, it did put me in driving mode. Google's not the best at figuring out, like there's this super cool automatic way for it to detect if you're driving, so it'll automatically put the interface for driving mode up. And usually that's great for me because I'll set it on my dash and plug it in, and it'll just automatically pop into that. And yeah, it seems to go off at the wrong time. I really need to take my glasses off. Cool. Glasses back on. Should have just had Mike come over because this social distancing thing is not really very fun, especially when there's like a delay. I don't know if he's gonna fit. Yeah, that's probably good. Those ones, like I said, don't worry about too much. Somebody can tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. Are you able to see it in 4K? Because my bitrate supposedly is all jacked up. The Allergy 2020. Nice. I can't see the bitrate anymore. 17,000. Wow, it's actually gotten better. I don't know if it's helping that I'm streaming on another computer. Just music though. Okay, that's pretty much it. I am going to glove back up to put my tires on because I don't want to get my keyboard all disgusting. So, Mike, can you hear the music? Because it's really annoying right now. Like, the worst ever. It's really hard to find music that's licensed and royalty free for some reason. It's like they want to get paid, even though I am sort of paying. Well, I am paying, there's no doubt about it. I have a subscription and they're distributing it to people. Hanger. I forgot to take the hanger off one time and there was this noise coming from the car. My wife was not very happy about that one. Now I need my bucket. Some disc brakes are a little different. It's not too bad. There's a YouTube video for everything. So that's why this isn't like a tutorial, because it's not. It's just hanging out during the woo flu, and that's about it. 480p? Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, I gotta run some fiber out. It's sitting right over there and I just haven't done it. Here's the part I don't like. Call me a wuss. It's worse when you're closer to the compressor. Now we go F. F is for fun. And it's fun putting it back together. Didn't quite get on there. Okay, now we need our other torque wrench. While I'm thinking about it. We didn't need some stuff, and that's great. I always do 95 or 100 foot-pounds on this car. Over the years, I've found several different things that say several different torque values, and people get into weird stuff about like what wheels do you have, what year was your Cavalier, which month, which wheels were being issued at that time. I don't get that nitpicky. And I'm right where I want to be. I think I'm not supposed to do this while it's up. So I'm not going to. Something about the axles. I don't really remember. Oh, the torque stick things. I forgot. I have some of those. Let's try it. Well, it's not that one. Is it possibly in the bin that is marked air tools? No, because that would be too heavy. It's in the cart that is all socket devices, I think. In this drawer. 10-piece torque limiting extension set. Yeah. Okay, so these are not tight yet. I can still... Maybe they are. There we go. This guy doesn't get them all the way. $130, $120, $110, $100, $90. Let's try 90 and see what happens. This is going to be awesome. The funny thing is, I don't really know what to trust because my torque wrench is not really the best in the world. So I think we're gonna need a little more oomph on that. Maybe that's what it does. I don't think I'm doing that right. I don't know, let's try it. I'm set at 90 on this. 96. Let's go back to 90. So it was probably pretty close. I'm going to set it down, which means we're going up. There's your jack stand. That was a little fast. I'm real good at some things, not that. I'm gonna check my air. My air is at 80 pounds. We'll put it up to 90. Because, you know, it probably takes 90 psi to get 90 foot-pounds of torque, because that makes a lot of sense. Oh, I hate this. I'm not right next to it, so. Damn it. I mean, ding it. I kind of want to get a shorter. I need to get this moved. Come on. Okay, that's been bugging me, and for the last couple things, now it's gonna work. I don't know where my phone is. Yeah, I stopped. I'm not super convinced that that's working. Yeah, tighten it a little bit. Who knows? I think that's going to take a bit more testing before I trust it. But I got a whole set, and it's kind of cool. 65 foot-pounds on up to 150. There went my little block of wood. And probably tomorrow afternoon, I'll go drive it around the block a couple times, see how it's going. Ta-da! Did it come back? Ran myself out of Sony old school camcorder battery on my monitor on top of my camera, because I'm running camera into the monitor output to capture card goes into the computer, feeds OBS feeds the YouTube, which probably has no people on it anymore because it just died. Oh well. I will call Mike and say oops. I'm happy I had one person pop on. That was fun. I should probably tell people I'm going to be on this, but I need to test it first. Because I don't want to have people thinking that it's really going to be going and it's not. But it's kind of fun. I needed to do this anyway, so why not shoot video of it? So when people figured out that I screwed it up, they have video evidence to show that I did. And now it's time for orange soda. In my I got this for Christmas. It has a little frozen thing in there that you put in the freezer, and then it's the typical like vacuum insulated Hubaju. But it keeps things amazingly cold for way longer than a normal one of these that does not have the icicle thing in the bottom. Ah, que bueno. My mom would be like, "Ay, Pedro, pronounce it correctly." I'm not very good at my pronunciations. Okay, time to pack it up. There's going to be other projects soon. It might be a couple days because I really do need to get this fiber line run. It's really bothering me that I have a 4K, 60 frame per second SLR tied to a 4K amazing capture card in this really cool but old, what do you call it? My little video streaming rig. And then I'm hampered by a wireless adapter that's a N, and it's going through 2 walls, and apparently that's enough that it's really messing with the signal. So it's time to end this party. Toodaloo. Hit stop.